Okay, we're going to start off with the arms. I already have made an arm, as you can see that. I will just give you a little bit of a view of what that looks like on my arm. So I have left a little bit of give there because I am going to add like a border or something right there. But if I fold it like that, I've made this arm to cover just the base of my shoulder, just about there. The work should be either 2 size to your body, or it can be a bit smaller because you can add to it. If it's too big, you'll have a problem, because taking off the seams that you add, oh my gosh, it's hard work. It's really, really, really hard work. So I have left just a little bit of give for that reason. I've got a bit of space to play with if I need to add to this. I am going to use this arm as a foundation for the size, so I'm going to stick some motifs on top of here, and we're going to go ahead and grab a darning needle, and then we are going to work the motifs in line with this arm. Let's talk a little bit about placement. So I'm trying to go for large motifs, almost to resemble the ones I've laid down on the other side already. We are laying the motifs flat, and I do want to leave a decent gap between the motifs because I really want the shapes to really pop. So I'm just having a look at what works where. See, I can't do that because now I've got a gap. This gap's too big, and this, it's just going to squeeze everything up together. So I think what I'm going to do is remove that, bring that back in, and maybe put that around there. And I'm much more happy with that gap there. So I've got a little gap here, a little gap here. Grab the smaller flower, put it there. Bring the swirl in, maybe put it right there. And again, you see this gap is a problem. So I can either go and grab 2 smaller motifs. So again, I've got this gap here and I don't have a motif small enough. So I might have to bump this spiral up a little bit. You do want a bit of a leafy leaf there. A 3D flower, of course. I'm going to put that maybe there like that. Got another leaf. So I'm going to bring that leaf in on the end there. You can kind of barely see that on camera, but I will show you a little bit later. And maybe put that there. And then I need one pattern here. And one more in the corner here. I'm going to start from the right and work up to the left. So I'm just going to move you with me. Now, one thing that's really important is to pin your work down, especially if you're a beginner. You want an adequate amount of tension with the yarn, like in between. And pinning your pieces down can give you that tension. I'm going to stop there, so I've got this to work with. Leave you with me a little bit more. I am using a plastic darning needle, and you see the yarn, of course this yarn is different to what I've used to crochet the motifs. The motifs, oh my gosh, I kind of lost the plot, and I had loads of machine yarn that I purchased intentionally because standard yarn costs so much money, and I just mixed up loads of colours and I came up with this. That's what I've used to make the motifs. And because I really want the motifs to pop, I'm using different kind of yarn, the standard yarn that you buy, but I've doubled this. The reason I've doubled it is because I want this cardigan to be really sturdy and well held together. I'm going to start off right here in this corner, so I'm going to take you with me. I'm just going to start off by going through the back loop. I'm not crocheting, I'm not stitching through the front loops, just because stitching will work together like this through back loops. It just gives the pieces it just gives the work a cleaner finish, and it almost looks like it's floating. So I'm going to start with a double knot. Like that, and I'm going to go into this petal on the other side, and I'm just going to give it just a little bit of a pull, not too tight, a little bit of a pull, and I'm going to go around the join that I've made already, and I'm going to go through around about the third chain. So I'm hoping to get a stitch in every third chain. That's a rule of thumb that I'm following with this project that I'm working on there. So if I pull that just a little bit, I want it to be comfortable. I don't want it to be too tight. Now, because this space is quite small, I'm not going to go back through this chain here. I'm going to go straight through my flower motif like that, and I'm going to go through this loop here. So again, the third chain from the motif. Now you see this space, it is a little bit bigger, the space that I'm referring to here. So I am, for that reason, going to go through that join that I've made already, just because if I zigzag from here to here, this gap's going to be far too big. So I'm going to join just underneath that flower motif there. Again, a little bit of a tug, not too much. And I am going to go through the join that I've made already. Like that. And I will connect to the other side of the flower instead of coming back down. Like that. I am going to connect to the second chain on the spiral and not the third. There. A little bit of a tug there again. And now I'm just going to zigzag until I get to the end here. I will go through top bit of the flower, and that, and like that. Now I'm going to go a few chains in this petal space, like that. a little bit of a pull. Now we've got some gap here, so I am going to start looping through the joins and not just do a simple zigzag. So I am gonna, I think, branch out this way now. And I'm most likely gonna come downwards this way and then go back up that way. So here I need to loop through. Loop through a little bit, pull that just a little bit, and I'm gonna go through this loop here on the spiral. Like that. And now I'm gonna loop through. Can you see when the space is bigger, we end up with almost like a square shape than a triangle in comparison to what we've got on this side. So again, I'm just going to pull that a little bit. I am going to go and loop through the join, and I will come back this way. Go that way. I think I need to go to the next motif now, like that. And again, I'm going to loop around and connect back to the spiral. And then I'm going to join this way, but I'm not going to go through the join. There. Come down this way. And go through here. A little bit of a pull. I'm just going to drop my final stitch. Whoop. Take that pen out. Like that. So I'm happy with how this is looking so far. I now need to go from here to here. So what I'm going to do is, instead of chopping my yarn and then hiding the tails, I'm going to try and work really cleanly. So I'm going to go through the motif and get to here. And I think I'm going to end up going around here like that. Now I want to blend what I'm about to do here with what I've already got going on. So I'm going to loop through that existing stitch already that I've got there, and I'm going to connect to this flower motif on this side like that. I'm not going to loop back through this because I don't have much space, so I'm just going to zigzag across like that. And I need to go through this motif. And I think instead of coming back down and back up, because this is going to make it really awkward, I'm going to go from this petal to this petal, just to make sure that these two petals are secure together. And then I think I'm going to come down. Like that. Yeah. And then I'm going to go into the second petal of the flower. Like that. Go through here. A little bit of a tug, not too tight. And of course, move your pins around as convenient for you. Now I need to pin these down and move around this bit here. So I shall carry on off camera, and if you're watching this video just as a one-off, I hope this is helpful for you. If you're not watching it as a one-off and you're following my journey in making this beautiful Irish crochet cardigan, I will be back when I've made these two arms, and then we'll talk about the front two panels and the one back large panel.